Hi everyone, welcome back on my channel. My name is Sara and here we talk about the travel and nomadic life. Today we're gonna talk about the best cafes to work in Canggu, Bali in 2023. In the past 5 years, Canggu blew up with cafes, restaurants, co-working spaces that allow people that work remotely, also known as digital nomad, to enjoy good food, high-speed Wi-Fi, and the tropical vibes. I've been living in Canggu for the past year. In fact, today I want to share with you my top 6 cafes that I love to work in. The first cafe that I want to share with you is Miel, which is a refreshing place to work, which basically a huge glass instead of a wall, which makes you feel like you are inside a kind of like a greenhouse, and it even has a huge tree right in the middle of it. Miel is a great place to start your day, especially if you are a coffee lover, because they have a really nice selection of coffees and bakery options. The place itself, because of these huge glasses, is very white and very bright, so it makes me feel very productive. Plus I love the fact that they have a lot of plants all around. It's definitely a great place to start your day, but what I don't particularly like is the fact that they have a big benches to sit on and they are not really comfortable, especially if you're like me that I work with cross-leg, that's not very comfortable. And another small downside that I noticed, that all the floors is made out of gravel to keep it cool, which actually it works because the place is very refreshing, but is also very slippery sometimes. This is the place that I will go in early morning to start with a fresh coffee and have that kick of caffeine in my vein. I eat once food there, which is very nice, but it's more the place you will go to start your day with a coffee and a croissant. Then I will just keep working there maybe a few hours and then move somewhere else. The second cafe is Seymour, which is a really nice cafe, and I'm just obsessed with their sweets. They have amazing ice cream, waffle, crepes, and if you're a sweet lover, that's the place for you. But don't go too often because then you know the downside of it. I really like Seymour because even though it's on the main street in the heart of Canggu, it's still very quiet. And they have a proper area for remote workers, which is separate from the dining area. They have great Wi-Fi and a really nice AC. I really like this place, especially if you want maybe to have a private conversation with a friend while working, or also just be in your own space for the day. The downside of it is that the working area is open only until 5 p.m. After, you have to close your laptop and just, I don't know, like enjoy the happy hour. In order to stay there, of course, you have to consume food, basic knowledge, but it's always great to pin it up. But since there are really nice sweets, this is the reason why you don't want to go to Seymour every day. It's not true, I will go there every day anyway. Third cafe that I really like to work in is Sari Kitchen, and I started to go to this place 1 year ago when I arrived in Bali, and I always like to come back. Sari Kitchen is this big red bricks open building set up on 3 floors based on your convenience. The first floor is set up with a double table, so let's say couple table if you want, and then there are a lot of more like big table with comfortable sofas, more for a group of people. On the second area there is this long table which allow to sit down probably like 30-40 people, great for co-working as well. And on the third floor there are other small tables which is more like private feeling. It's very nice if you want to go on a date there as well, or just working by yourself. I always come back to Sari Kitchen because since last year they offer this breakfast deal, which basically is get your food plus the drink included. For instance, my favorite food there is the boho bowl and creamy mushroom on soldier. The stuff is very nice, and my favorite person there is Anna. If you go there, ask for her and tell her Sara saying hi. She's the cutest. The reason why I don't go to Sari Kitchen every day is because thanks to their all-day breakfast deal, the place gets so busy, and so the Wi-Fi is not really available anymore. As well, also because on the second floor it has this huge long bench to sit, and it's not very comfortable. This is the same reason why I also don't always go to Miel. I don't particularly like to sit on benches, especially hard benches, because after a while I got pain on my back, so I always prefer to sit on comfy seats. But I'm spoiled sometimes. The fourth cafe that I love to work in is Cafe Coach. It's an awesome place for coaches, healers, players, and people that in general love to develop themselves and crave for human connection. Cafe Coach has one of the best food I've ever eaten in Bali. It's perfect for breakfast, lunch, and also dinner because they opened a few months ago for dinner as well. They have a really strong AC, so strong that sometimes I even have to bring my own sweater. And something very cool that they used to do is that on all tables there are some powerful questions that you can ask yourself or ask the person next to you just to start a conversation. If you're coming to Bali and you're looking to make new friends, Cafe Coach is your place. They run a free workshop every Thursday on the second floor, and every first Saturday of the month they run this nomadic community experience, which is basically a speed dating for friends. I've been to the first event and it was really nice. Also, if you're planning to come to Bali and make new friends, watch this video which I share with you the way to make new friends in Bali. The reason why sometimes I decide to don't go to Cafe Coach is that they have a really small table to work on. Sometimes it happened that when I was working I had to take away the laptop and put it on my lap in order to eat the food, so it's not really convenient. But a cool news is that very soon they will open a co-working space very close to it. This will be much better in order to be able to work properly there because the rest is impeccable. The fifth cafe that I really love to work in is not really a cafe, it's more a restaurant, and is Tiga. Tiga is open all day long until 10 p.m. and they have their most huge and fresh coconut on the island. But the real reason why I love to go to work in Tiga are two, and those are the most important one for me, honestly. It has a huge table and a great Wi-Fi, so I really like to come here to work when I need to spread all my things around or I just want to have a working alone together session with my friend. Another great thing is that they are open until 10 p.m. and from 9 p.m. they have a 50% discount on all food. But you already have to come at 8:50 because the line for the food is getting busier and the food is very nice. The downside of it is that sometimes it gets pretty noisy, especially during the high time of the day like lunch or dinner. Also during rainy season it gets pretty humid and hot. But for the rest I really like to come here. And last but not least, Human Being is the cafe that I really like to work on. It's this small open air cozy cafe which is amazing when you want to be in your own bubble, or also for those days that you want to be outside but you don't want to be surrounded by too many people or be on the crowd. A must try when you go there is the creamy Human Being iced latte, which is so good. And something really nice that they do is that they offer this refreshing infused water. Actually also the Wi-Fi is very stable. Something that I don't particularly like, as I already said, is the fact that it's an open area. Sometimes it gets very hot. They just changed the owner of the place and I noticed that the prices really rised up. But still, it's a nice place and I recommend to come here from time to time. These were my top 6 places that I really like to work in Canggu. I hope you like them. Let me know in the comment which one is more appropriate to you. And if you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you next Sunday with another video. Bye bye!